right now there's a lot of different stressors going on. Please don't feel guilty if you're struggling during this time. We're going through like this forced isolation. You know, like I'm even having a sense of anxiety even when I just leave the house, even though I like to be outside, but it's being home is my new routine. It's my new sense of comfort. So even for those people who don't like being home, they're realizing like, I don't want to be home, but I also don't want to leave. And people are kind of experiencing the same thing about movement. Like I have all this time on my hands. Why don't I want to do things? That's not what this circumstance is calling for, but really worrying about like your mental health and your mental stability, and to get more comfortable with not being so busy, right? In a society that's always forcing you to be so busy, this is our time to get comfortable with not being so busy, and kind of get comfortable with the idea of being alone with ourselves, because that's what we're supposed to be doing right now.
I always ask the question, what is driving it? You know, what's behind it? Because just like it's about being kind to yourself and allowing yourself the freedom to just be, it's a wonderful thing to get up and get dressed and take a shower and put makeup on and move your body if that's what you choose to do, because moving your body can get, you know, can snap you out of feeling down and depressed. You know, always sleeping in or always staying in your pajamas and never moving is also not super effective and can send you down the rabbit hole of depression and not feeling super good, especially in a time when there is such social isolation. So it's helpful for you to find some sort of balance. You know, we are really trying to adapt to a time that's so unique and we've never really been a part of.
I want to bring out a eating disorder term. Don't binge on either one of those things.
Yeah.
Because if you find yourself, you know, getting up, getting dressed, doing your makeup, moving, and not feeling like anything that you're doing is good enough, not feeling like you're filling the time enough, that's dangerous and that's a red flag. And that's really, you're kind of blocking out any kind of real self-care. Even if you say, oh, I am doing this for my self-care, it might be too much for you to maintain, and you can crash from that. So I think there really needs to be a balance. If you hear that little voice in your head saying, I need to do more, I need to do more, I need to do more, then I think what you need to do is actually sit down and kind of feel that anxiety of sitting and relaxing, and overcome that anxiety. And same thing goes the opposite way.
Yeah.
If you find yourself waking up, having a hard time getting in the shower, having a hard time getting dressed, start with something slow. Go just take a walk around the block.
The restrictiveness of our social lives and just the inaccessibility to food and not being able to go to the gym, not being able to move quite as often, that right now is a breeding ground for eating disorder thoughts. And that really coupled with social media being a major outlet for most people to feel some sense of human connection, that's also flooded with messages about weight gain and fitness and diet culture messages, the COVID-30 and COVID-15, that is totally triggering to people in eating disorder recovery. You know, during stressful times, this is an incredibly stressful time, and we are in a consistent hypervigilant state of like not knowing what's going to happen and uncertainty. And it is a physiological response to put on some weight during times like this, like it's our body's natural reaction. So it's okay. Like our bodies are, when we listen to our bodies naturally conform to what they're supposed to do.
And it's kind of beautiful, if you think about it, that our bodies react in such a way to keep us healthy.
We stop listening to our bodies as toddlers when we, as parents, enforce different rules, and that's just based on, you know, what we grow up in and a lot of what
food labeling and the diet culture messages.
Yes. But, you know, when you really listen to your body and your hungers, you know, your body will adapt.
And if you just trust your body, things are always going to balance out the way that they're supposed to. You shouldn't be forcing anything. And you absolutely should not be condemning your body or your appetite for what it needs right now. We want to address the memes because they're supposed to be lighthearted, but they're really not funny, because even if you laugh initially, that might be internalized in some way, and there could be a lot of guilt around, you know, how you look. I think those messages are what's making people get on the scale and like wonder if they've gained weight themselves. And it's, you know, the scale is really not your friend. You have to get rid of that. It's not there for your health. And all that happens when you step on there is a sense of like impending doom almost. I think the only person that knows that number is my doctor, and they don't tell me it. And that's how it really should be for everybody.
I don't get on the scale at the doctor's office either. I said, you can find out other things about me by my blood work if you need.
Right.
It's like, think about how you felt prior to getting on that scale. Did you feel good in your body? Did you feel rested? And then the minute you get on, it's like, it determines your mood. What was the point of that other than, make you feel like you're in competition with changing that? And it's a number. It's a number on a piece of plastic or metal. And that is basically it. It doesn't determine the life that you've created, how you feel in your body, your health, what defines you, what informs you, what makes you happy, what makes you smile, what makes you laugh, none of it. And just as easily, all those things that make you who you are, it takes all that away in one moment. That's how much power we give it. So remove the scale.